Good morning, everyone. Did anyone get an email today? I got one. Yeah, okay. I got one. Are you in? Are you in here? All right. Are you joining the Zoom? Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm talking to Roger, if you can't tell. There he is.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Let me just put my camera on. Hey, guys. Hey, gang. How are you? Look at that. They got the blue background. They got the blue shirt. They got the whole blue thing going on today. Uh, the beach sounds so relaxing today. We got Danny, Devin, and Kevin on YouTube. Small crowd on YouTube. Usually have about 40 people by now. And here, too. Is there a class going on right now? Is there something going on? Did the emails go out? Yeah. Emails go I guess people just don't like me anymore. Well, we had a really busy crowd last 2 days. We had like 600 something people here. You know, it was a great session. But yeah, everybody got everything, right, Matt? You confirmed?
Yep.
Cam and Gus are still on. How dare they? You are the guru's guru, Roger. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. Can you post for everyone to see? I'll repost, but thank you. That was very nice of you. Very nice of you. Let me say hello to everybody. Hey, Maggie. Hey, Bill. Yeah, I'm going to continue the analysis today as well. Why not? I'm going to finish up and I'm going to take some questions too. Jeff, good afternoon. Dare, good afternoon. Kevin, Eduardo, what email are you notice coming in from nothing in my junk email? Okay, Eduardo, Option, Gene, Ken. How are you, Ken? I hope you are okay. John, I think I'm actually going to I'm probably going to go to a doctor to redo my LASIX pretty soon. I had a LASIK surgery for my eyes. I was nearsighted, couldn't see far, and I had a surgery. Oh, how long ago was it? I think it was 2012, something like. No, 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 no. It was 2000. It was 2008. 2008. And since then, I've gotten older. It's been many, many years. Been over almost 20 years, and my farsightedness, I'm starting to get farsighted. I'm starting to get old, and that messes up your whole thing. So I'm going to have to talk to a doctor about that because now when I go to the TV, I sit in my chair closer than my wife. Ira says, I hate to break it to you, but you might want to wait until cataract surgery. I still got about 20 years for that. My parents just got it when they were 75. So it's a different procedure too. But you know what? I don't know anything about that. Maybe my doctor will tell me that too. I'm not worthy in your presence. Switch like yesterday. Christian, Mark, Susan, Ken, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Everybody, good to see everybody here. Really good to see everybody here. Monovision, I don't know what I did. It was 2008. They did a LASIK. They went, and next thing you know, I had 20/20 vision. It was amazing. Mark Torres, Matt, he sent you an email. Just FYI, make sure you see it. The problem, Mark, is if we don't get to your emails, they pile up. So it's very important for us to make sure your emails get answered. By the way, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Yeah, I don't really, I could fake it with the reading problem, Alex. I want to be able to watch TV from afar. Yeah, Stacy, it was the best thing I did 18 years ago. Hey, Anthony, I'm just going to give the room another minute to fill up. Hey, family life, Raj, how are you guys? Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. If you couldn't see, how could we see any? That's a good point. I mean, obviously, I could see the screen well. Ironically, anything that's between, say, 5 feet and 2 feet, beautiful. It, honestly, I'm probably at 80, like 80% of the 20, whatever it is. But I mean, I'm being picky, you know. I want to sit. Here's the thing. I want to sit with my wife. I want to sit with my beautiful wife on the couch instead of being 5 feet in front of her with the dogs. That's what it is, and I'm kind of getting sick of it. That's really what it is. If you really want to know the truth, that's all. Because when I'm in my room watching TV, my mobster shows with my laptop, it's perfect. Okay, all right. Yeah, the dogs are cuddly too. Um, I only what is this? I'm getting wouldn't work. Too bad. Still have Trading Pit. Uh, yeah, Trading View works, Larry. It works perfectly. We have a if you go to customer service, they'll hook you up, but it works actually works perfectly. And we're always updating it. Let me share my screen. Hey Peter, how are you? You're probably a little nearsighted again. If you correct that, your reading will get worse. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna wear glasses for reading. The dogs are almost as large as my wife. You're right, especially the two big ones. Okay. Let's go to the screen. I haven't done this in a few days, and I wanted to, hold on one second. Let me get my TC 2000 here. It's no fun for you guys to be looking at a Zoom screen. Okay. Congratulations, Danny. That sounds great. Danny has his first win. Grab that from YouTube, man. That's good. I like that. All righty. Let's take a look at the market. Now, this morning, if you were watching what I was saying or listening to what I was saying, I told you guys, and I was pretty clear on this. I said the market, we didn't have a lot of volume. There's not much going on here. We don't have a major catalyst. Both reports this morning were negative. No, just one report today was negative, and the other one either earlier today or yesterday. Time runs into each other for me. I don't have. Um, Richard says I haven't installed anything on TradingView. I kept Thinkorswim everything installed and use TradingView to place the trade. Smart. Ira, I don't know. I don't know how you need to the educational portions of the class from yesterday and the day before are going to be put into the members area. Now let me ask you guys, do you want me to answer customer service questions for you, Ira, or do you want me to teach? Don't ask me questions that you can get the answers from someone else. Okay? Please, for everybody's sake. Okay? All right, let's continue this. I want to teach you guys something here. A lot of people are on their lunch break too, and they only have an hour. Now, I want to put some value here. Thank you, Zen. So, this morning, I was I took a very long time in the morning show explaining something to you, and I said, look, price is running away from the 8-day EMA. We have some pretty strong resistance right here, right above us, literally right above us. I said the most probable scenario is that we will make a higher high, we'll trigger a bunch of longs, and then we'll start heading down to the 8-day EMA. Now, we had about 600 people there this morning. I imagine at least half the people here were there. Can you please tell me if there's anything right now that I did not say that I said this morning, or if I'm bluffing it, or if I'm sugarcoating it, or if I'm changing it, or if I'm how specific am I? How specific was I, and how specific am I right now? John says completely accurate. Richard says trap. Wes says, oh, there you go. Wes. Matt says exactly spot on. Hey, Ken. Oh, you're saying hi to Richard. Yes, yes. Sorry. You were right as usual. The point now, this is not about the point is, how did we see it coming? How did we see it coming? We saw it coming because we're deviating from the 8-day EMA, and there's really no reason for us to deviate from the 8-day EMA. Earnings are behind us. We didn't really have a major catalyst per se this morning. Um, there's really no reason for the market. I mean, the market's looking for price discovery right now. This morning's report was not good. Yesterday's report was not good. The reports have not been good. They have not. They have not been positive. Okay. Um, yeah, Christian, right? I hate to say I told you so, but no, I'm glad I told you so. And again, I told you all this at 8 o'clock in the morning, long before market opened. Point being, it's not that I told you this. The point that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is we can't go back, right? And if you see, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to press my mouse button right here. You see where I am? I'm going to press it right there, and you see it highlights this area. So we we bounced right off of here, and now it looks to me like we're going down. Now you see this slow. This is yesterday's closing. This is everything we've been able to. This is new ground right here. This is today's ground. If we move below this line, we're going to move into the negative. Not really. And please don't. I'm being a little dramatic. I don't want to scare you or anything. All we're doing is just drifting back into the 8-day EMA. Thank you, Vano. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Adam. Very good. Point is, we're going to have a bounce here. We usually have a bounce here. This is a pivot area here. We're going to have a bounce. We may break it, but I think we're going to have a bounce first. This is not important right now. Pay attention here. I think we can go all the way down here to the 590. We don't have to touch it, and we can theoretically we can even make a higher high, which would sort of kind of put us in this realm. Again, notice the 8-day EMA is pointing higher, but too much too fast. And let's say we were wrong today. I promise you, over the next 2 days, it would just come on down and do this. I'm going to leave this here. And this may be a little too optimistic, and I'll tell you why, because it's not parallel to the 8-day. I'm going to make it parallel to the 8-day. That's parallel to the 8-day. And I'm just going to leave it. I think that's pretty parallel, and that's pretty parallel. So I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? And we'll see what happens. But to give you levels, notice the levels here. Now we could just make a higher low right here, perfectly acceptable, and then start coming up again. But I don't see us running away into the jungle, and leaving our fortune behind from here. I just don't see it unless there's a catalyst. So, point is, price action is really important and it tells us everything. But here's the more important part. When you and I are together in the morning session and I'm talking about all the catalysts and I'm telling you this, remember, when do I tell you this? Do I tell you this in the beginning or do I tell you this in the end? As a matter of fact, I usually give this conclusion after I turn my camera off. I mean, meaning not my camera, the screen share off. And I said this morning, we're going to open up higher. We're going to sucker it. I didn't use these words. I don't remember what I said, but we're going to go higher. We're going to maybe make a high the first half hour of the day. And then it's going to look like it wants to break out. And then we're going to go and then we're going to come close and start getting closer to the 8-day EMA on a daily chart. And then we'll be able to see if we bounce from there. But that's first thing we need to do. Just like we did here, just like we did here. Now, let me tell you, it's only 12 o'clock. We can very easily have a nice big sell-off or not. And we can just come right here and stay here. Or we can come down pretty hard and then come back right up. But I don't feel that this area is going to sustain itself unless we have a very positive catalyst in the next 24 hours. Okay. Now, is this meaningful? Not really. Well, if you're day trading, this can be $100,000 right here. That's 300 points right here. On the E-mini. Okay. So yesterday I showed you, and by the way, just to confirm what I'm saying is not crazy, look at the Volt. It's making a new low. And by now we all know what happens to the SPY when the Volt goes down and starts trending and breaking down. Whether you like it or not, we all know that the Volt leads price. Does this look like a pretty picture to you? No. Goes down with the Volt. Exactly. I don't want you to say it because I told you that. I want you to see it because you've looked at it hundreds of hours and came to that conclusion yourself. Because otherwise, you're not going to believe me. I promise you, you're not going to believe me. Okay. All righty. So I explained to you yesterday the power of using the Pro Trader dashboard, and I explained all that to you. Now I'm going to get into the options section and talk about the options. Now, does anybody have any questions before we move into the options? And also, in about half an hour or maybe less, no, less, in about 20 minutes, yeah, maybe about half an hour, we're going to have a guest. So it'll be fantastic. You're right on the Vold, a great lesson for me. This is part three. Yeah, it's part three. I'm going to give you a lesson right now. But there's not going to be any webinars or anything like that, so we don't have to kick anybody off we don't have to kick anybody off YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just stay where you're at. Hey, Dylan, how are you? Good to see you. Maggie, Danny, Raj, good to see you all. Okay. Ruthie, if you don't know what DeVold is, just send me an email, roger@rogerscott.com, and I'll explain it to you. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with TLT is it's at a 5-day high because people are taking money out of stocks and putting them into bonds, not because of lower interest rates. That's the same. All right. I don't want to talk about specific stocks right now. Okay. I'm not there right now. Rosalio. Is it Rosalia? Rosalio. I want to talk about, I want to build on this. I want to build on this. Hey, Joe, how are you? So, yesterday I talked about how to use the Pro Trader dashboard. Doesn't seem like anybody has any questions. So, I must have done a reasonably good job explaining it to you. So, now I want to explain to you how to pick the options. Okay. Very important for you guys to learn how to pick the options. Christopher says, with all the lessons I've learned, how important is the watch list because I consistently see the Pro Trader top picks on my lead page. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. Good afternoon, 917. Okay, let's continue this. Oh, thank you, Ken. I appreciate that, especially coming from you. So I want to show you guys something, okay? So remember this is about options. What's funny is, what's really funny is that we're going to talk about options. And yesterday we were talking about, and the day before we were really talking a lot about day trading. But the funny thing is, we spend most of our time talking about the daily chart. Don't you guys think that's kind of ironic? Isn't it funny where whether I'm talking about swing trades, day trades, scalp trades, I'm always talking about scalping charts, daily charts, daily charts. Hey, Ringo, how are you? Richard, how are you? Where were you guys? What's going on? Where are you guys coming from right now? Was there like a webinar? Did I miss something? Was there a party that I did not get invited to? Who brought the popcorn? Didn't give me any. We're actually having a barbecue here at the office. A real barbecue, like a hardcore barbecue. Yes, so let's talk a little bit about options, okay? What is going to what is going to make me determine how far I want to go? Okay, how far out I want to go. Well, it's going to be well, there's going to be two things. First of all, I'm always going to look at the daily chart. The second of all is the market, and what the market is doing. If the market is in a trend like this, for example, okay, in a nice trend like this, you don't need to go as far out, okay, than when a market is in a chop like this. Hey, Nestor. So, a good rule of thumb is this, and this is the daily chart. You know what? I could do this easily on TC 2000. So let me just take all these lines off. Okay. So, if you're trending above the 8 and the 15 EMA, or if you're trending below the 8 and the 15 EMA. So if you're here, or if you're here, you don't need to go very far out. You don't need to go very far out in your direction, assuming you're going in the direction. Well, why don't you need to go far out? Because assuming you're picking the right stocks, okay? And the way I show you how to pick stocks, a baboon can learn to pick the right stock. And I'm not kidding. I'm serious about that. Hey, Sherman, how are you? Uh, I teach you how to pick the right stocks on a daily time frame. Like right now, the SPY looks like a beautiful stock, except for this area right here. Needs to get above this area right here. Let me actually draw this right now. There we go. We're at a real strong resistance level. But as soon as we get above this area, we've got some flight. But let's just take the SPY right now. I spent an hour this morning explaining to you exactly what I think about the market action today. Now, if you got anything from it, what you should have got was there's not much happening right now. You can't really, if you were there for an hour. Now, I got a lot more specific. I spend an hour teaching you, right? But if you were there today, this morning, there's not much going on today. There's not much going on. There's not the catalysts today were not massive, and they mostly happened before the market opened, and we saw the reaction. It wasn't like, hey, don't do anything today. We're sitting aside. I'm on a warning mode. It wasn't like that at all today. There's not much going on today. For lack of getting into deep explanations. Okay. If there's not a lot going on today, kind of day, then the odds are I'm going to be looking more at swing trades. Okay. So when we're here, there's something going on. There's something going on. You don't need to go more than a week and a half, 2 weeks when you're over here trending like this. But when you're in a chop like this, in an area that hasn't been broken out yet, you want to be extra careful and you want to give yourself more time. For example, this morning's trade that I put on in the pit, which we're not going to mention here because it's a premium trade. What did I say? Maybe a swing trade. I don't do that a good day to wait for the third attempt to go higher. Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but it's just I'm trying to give the big picture here. I'm just trying to give the big picture. So the moral of the story is, notice we haven't even begun looking at the stock yet. We're just looking at the market. And the market's telling us right now, you either day trade this thing or you buy yourself some time. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place right now. We're kind of in a scalpish mode and a longer term swing mode. For example, CAH we got into the stock right here. Got all the way up here to get out of the stock. We were in the stock for about 9 days. It's been one of the longest trades we've held in the pit in a very long time. Very long time. But my point being is, the stock is, this is the kind of market we're in right now. You understand? We're not in a market like this right now. Now, that brings me to the stocks. Now, so we look at the market. Notice market. Why are we always looking at the market? Now remember, you're probably thinking, Roger, you said you were going to teach us about the Pro Trader dashboard. I am. But you're not, all of you are starting, you know what you're doing? You're all doing this and looking at the price go up. You need to understand structure and where we're at. And that's why I spent a whole hour talking about it in the morning. So going back here, we right now are building a ascending triangle in the SPY. Okay, what do we know about ascending triangle? Forget about everything I just taught you right now. What is an ascending triangle? It builds, it builds, it builds. No, it's bullish. It's not bearish. An ascending triangle is my favorite and the most bullish pattern. It winds down, it winds in right here, and it goes breaks out, right? Building upward pressure. Thank you, Ken. It's exactly what it's doing. Building upward pressure. Not breaking out yet, but building upward pressure. Like staying here, going to the 8-day EMA, and tomorrow, maybe next few days, maybe breaking out. Now, if it breaks down this line, it's no good. But if it breaks up to the upside, it's really good. Point is this. No, if it's too steep, it'll collapse. Well, unless it back tests. Let's just forget about all the things that it could be, might have. Let's just stick with what it is. It's not too high. It's not too steep. It's not bearish. It's a nice building ascending triangle. Okay, let's just let please. So it's building very nicely. If this thing breaks out, if this thing breaks out very similarly to how CAH did, excuse me, Microsoft right now is right here. See this bar? Not Microsoft. What am I saying? SPY. I don't know why I'm talking about Microsoft. Microsoft, SPY is right here, not Microsoft. SPY is right here. Okay. And it looks like it wants to come up, but it needs to tighten and tighten for a few days. So, oh, okay. What did Roger just say in the morning? Not much today. Okay, not much today. Catalysts are not big. What's the SPY doing? Oh, it's in a ascending triangle. It's still kind of in this price action. It still hasn't broken out of this price action. We're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet. All right, not there yet. So, but we need to back test this area. So we may be choppy for a while. Okay, choppy for a while. Not a lot of catalysts. So, point being, point being, point being is this. We need to be cautious right now. Longer term options till expiration. Okay? Longer term option till expiration. Now, let's talk about stocks. For example, let's look at Meta. Okay? Meta is outperforming the SPY. Meta already broke out of this area. Right? Meta is one step ahead. It's outperforming. It's got a support area right here. If I actually raise it, we got a high volume candle right there. Perfect. Perfect. See how it's holding support here? You have a breakout and you have a test. And you have an ascending triangle here as well. That's a trade that's technically ready to go. And it just bounced off the VWAP. You know what? Hell with it. I'm going to give it to you guys as a bonus trade right now. Why not? It's a hump day, right? I'm going to give you a debit spread. We're going to go about 23. We're going to go about, let's see, 16. Yeah, let's go 16 days out. Let's start with a delta of 0.50. Let's go to 682.50. And we'll hedge that with a 687.50. We'll make sure to pay no more than right here, 682.50, 687.50. And we're not going to pay more than $2.50. Okay? So, let's say you find a stock. Let's say you find a stock using this methodology that I just showed you, using the Pro Trader dashboard. You have to then go to the daily chart and make sure that it's not overextended. You got to look at what the market's doing, and that's the only way you could figure out how far you should be going on the option. Now, let me give you another scenario. let's say the market was right now doing this, breaking down like this, right? Let me show you another scenario. Let's take a look at a stock like Gap. Okay. That's a stock on my breakdown list today. Okay. Notice how it broke down this level. It doesn't really have much, doesn't really have that much till about 19 area, 19 or so. But here's what I want to explain to you. If the market is doing this, okay, I would not hesitate and I would short this stock right now. Well, Roger, why aren't you shorting this stock right now? Let me show you why. Because the market is right now biased to the upside. So what's the odds are if the market consolidates here or runs up a little bit, it's going to put a fork in my gap trade. So what I would rather do here is not chase it and wait for it to come back to the VWAP. Do you see how I'm using? I just showed you two examples of how I'm using the market to guide me into trading stocks at any given moment or any given time. Did you guys understand what I just showed you? Hey, Ray, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're feeling well. So let me give you another scenario. So let's take a few. So let's do this. Let's take a look at a few stocks right now, and let's see if you think those stocks we should buy options longer term or shorter term. Okay, I'm going to give you some long stocks, and you tell me. Okay, it's not so much because of the gap, Cheryl. The gap is not the gap is doesn't really fall into the analysis. Okay, Spotify. What is Spotify doing? Can somebody tell me what is Spotify doing? Spotify is moving higher, right? It's breaking out. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Zen. Don't all there's only 460 people there and 80 we only have there you go, Ray. Good for you. 86 people and 400. We only have 550 people or something like that here. Don't all speak at once. All right. It's breaking out. Okay, so wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not consolidating anymore, is it? It's breaking out. It's actually in the process of doing something right now, right? Okay. Also, so that's step one. Well, hold on, Mark. Mark, do you believe in foreplay? I mean, you gotta look at the whole thing. Hold on. I mean, why do you want to like marry the first girl that you see? Wait till you get the whole story. Hold on, please. Just hold on a minute. And you were right, by the way. But the question is why. The question is why. You get points. You get points for you get points for the analysis here, not the conclusion, okay? It's like math class. They want to see your work. Okay. So let's just draw some lines here. Okay, we got some support here. We got a breakout here, right? We could clearly see that there's a I see I love these ascending triangles. I really do, and descending triangles. So we have a and if we go up here, this is fantastic because we have no overhead resistance. From what I could tell, this is an all-time high, unless someone is lying to me here. No, it is. Okay, good. So we have no overhead resistance. So this is our only trend line here. And it happens to touch the high volume bar too. So this is really our support right here. And it happens to be right at the 15-day EMA. So we're now in motion. In motion. Now, here's the thing. Let's go back to the SPY. What is the SPY doing? Whatever the SPY's doing, it's not doing much, but whatever the SPY's doing, it obviously is biasing the upside, not the downside. Okay. So we do have an upward bias on the SPY, whether you like it or not. I mean, the SPY is up, well, it's flat now. It's up now. But the point is, this is an upward bias. This is an ascending triangle. It's knocking at the up door, not the down door. Although I did say this morning it was going to be knocking at the down door after making a high and suckering a bunch of longs, but that's not here nor there. But for daily chart, not 5 minute, daily chart, this is very strong. And we're only looking at the daily chart. Cup handle, I don't play the whole cup and handle, Miko. I know a lot of people do. I mean, I know what you're saying, but just ascending triangle. Now, let's go back to our analysis here. Meta. No, it wasn't Meta, it was Spotify. Spotify already confirmed, is already breaking out. This thing's in motion. This thing's in motion. Okay, so the market's moving higher, and this thing is already out and about. It's out. I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't go very long here. What I would go here is I would probably do a debit spread instead of an individual option because I don't feel as warm and fuzzy about the stock because I don't feel very warm and fuzzy about the market. And the stock, I wish I bought it right here. This is a little overextended and it's greatly in motion. So the only reason I would buy this for, in truth, would be if I was scalping or doing a very short term 1 to 3 day trade. I probably would not go very far out on this because this is already moving and it's moving pretty good. But it's moving in the direction of the market, so I'm not going to wait. If it was moving against the direction of the market, my butt would be waiting for us to be here. That's what I'm saying, Tammy, a short-term trade. Day trades, anything, 12 hours, 24 hours. Those are quickies. Again, my point here is not trying to tell you when to buy spot. My point is for you guys to try to get inside my head. Let's try another one, okay? Matt, let me know when Jack comes in, okay?
Yep.
We can talk to Jack. Let's take a look at DoorDash, okay? All right, DoorDash. Here we have our high volume bars right there. You guys, have we broken out of this area yet? No, as a matter of fact, we're thinking in here. So in light of what the market's doing right now, and in light of the fact that this market is resisting, would I do anything? No, I would wait for what I would do is this. I would either wait for me to come back above this territory, or I would wait for us to go to the 8-day EMA and just take the trade off of there. And here's the thing, it would still be positive, even if it went up to the 8-day EMA. It's up $3. This is only, oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. This is $6 away. So it would have to wait a few days. Would have to wait a few days, a little overextended. Yeah, 8-day EMA. Okay. Yeah, put an alert in it. Exactly. Very, very simple. And it's also very choppy. So you see how, let's take a look at another one. C. Now, remember yesterday? You know why I have this stock on my list? Do you remember yesterday's session that we did here? Remember this was one of my top stocks yesterday? It was this stock. Hey, HG, how are you? This stock and BL. I like those two stocks. And by the way, BL, remember those evening stocks, those afternoon evening stocks that go up on my scanner that I show you? Well, this was number one on the Pro Trader dashboard scanner yesterday at about 2:45, 3 o'clock. Whenever I gave it to you guys, I gave it to you as a bonus in the afternoon in the pit. See that? Clean breakout. And look what it's doing today. This is a 150% pit trade. So look at C. What is C doing? We're above this area now. We're above this area right here. This is confirming, and we're not that far off the 8-day EMA. I would probably wait for us to trade above the 8-day EMA, and I would probably go a little longer term here because this isn't running away from the train. Peter says make 18% gain. Nice. Good for you, Peter. Good for you. They post that for you. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. By the way, did anybody take BL? Peter, did you get on the BL, the bonus BL trade? Tammy, Mike, no, too bad. Okay, cool. Okay, so most of you who did the C trade, you should have taken an option that went out a few weeks, at least a few weeks. Steven says took 200 on BL. Good. It's a nice looking stock. Good. Good. 3 weeks. Good. How many do you recommend? I don't. What do you mean, Brendan? How many? It was a bonus trade in the pit yesterday, and then I gave you this one and BL. I think I gave this one. What else did I give you guys yesterday? I don't remember. I think CLS was one. CLS was that one. I don't remember. I just don't remember anymore, Brendan. I'm sorry. All right. All right. Oh, GLW. Yes, you were right. It is GL. Thank you. Yes, C and GLW. You are absolutely right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So look at GLW, still moving higher. Still moving higher. These were now remember how we found them? We found them together in the pit. I mean, using the Pro Trader dashboard. How many weeks do I recommend? Brendan says, how many weeks do you recommend for consolidation? That's a great question. Um, I want to say the longer the better because it just they don't have. I mean, Brendan, I want to say the longer the better. Okay, but here's the problem: you don't want to end up being in a choppy stock. So longer the better for a stock that doesn't consolidate all the time. If that makes any sense. Ideally, a week to 2 weeks. 3 weeks is good. A month, something may be up with the stock. But if I can see a good consolidation for 2 to 3 weeks, those are the best. Now, let me tell you. Let me continue with Brendan's. Let me continue with Brendan's thought right now. I'll show you one trade type. Let me see if I could find it. There's a pattern, and this pattern is just okay. So I'm gonna have to fake it. I'm gonna just show you this pattern, but actually, no. Okay. So stock is trading really strong above all the key moving averages. Okay. It drops like it does here, but it drops right below the 50-day EMA, the 50-day MA. And it just stays glued to the 50-day EMA. Pretend the 50-day EMA is right here. Okay. So the stock is going up. It goes right below the 50-day EMA, but it doesn't keep dropping. It gets stuck right below the 50-day EMA. Like, there's usually a few good examples of it. Like right here, right below it. It like looks like it's about to fall off the sky, but it stays and it consolidates and it tries to break above the 50-day EMA. I keep saying EMA, the 50-day MA for a few weeks, and then it finally goes back above it and it just runs away from there. So again, stock is moving up. It starts falling down. It looks like it's done. It looks like it's completely done. And then for like a month, 2, 3 weeks, a month, it just kind of sticks to, and it kind of goes below the 50-day EMA, and then it goes right up to the 50-day, and maybe even a few days it tries to break through. And then it finally breaks through, and then it just takes off. And I'll tell you, okay, and I'm going to tell you how I know that. Because in my early days, I used to buy stocks above the 50-day EMA. And then the rules are sell stocks if they're trading below the 50-day EMA. I would sell a stock, but I would keep monitoring it, right? And I would see them just sitting below the 50-day EMA. And then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, a month later, they would just bolt back up, and it's like the rally just takes right off. And I'm like, mother, because all I had to do was just put my stop loss a little more. So I've learned that if I'm trading a stock and the stock is above the 50-day EMA, and I really like the stock and I really like the market, and if the stock goes right below the 50-day MA, but continues just sticking up, right, doesn't go to the 100, doesn't go to 200, just sticks up and just creates a sideways channel, it creates a really good spot for us to be able to take trades. Ed says made 382 on BL, made 18 CMG scalp this morning. Yeah, CMG was really hot this morning. So for whatever that's worth. All right, do we have I can't see myself for some reason. Oh, there I am. Uh let's see. Is there's Jack. Jack, why don't you come in and say hello?
Trying to. There. How's
There
that?
he is.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. I found out I'm going to be a grandfather.
Oh, yay.
Hey.
Is
Yeah.
this number three or two?
This will be four.
Oh my, number
Yeah.
four. That's
My
great.
yeah,
Congrats.
my
That's like the
new
best news ever.
in the world. My New York son, he's married his Israeli girlfriend of 5 years, and they're going to have a baby boy in November, but I know they're not going to name it Jack.
Okay.
They're going to have some Old Testament name, which I think is really cool, but I recommended Hercules.
Hercules.
I think that'd be a great name for him.
Hercules, you know, it would be very original.
Yeah,
It would be very original. I like that. I like that. That's a cool name.
it is.
Strong, very strong name. Is your son a big guy?
He's pretty tall guy. He's kind of thin, but I know they're going to pick some kind of Israeli name. We met her whole family in Rome for the wedding, and I love those people. But yeah, I want him to name him something like on her side, just something different. But
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be
I
fun.
can't
It's
wait.
good.
Yeah, like Methuselah or something, for
Yeah, yeah. So when are you going to meet your new when is the meeting going to happen?
meeting's going to happen in New York, right when he pops out. Yeah, I can't wait. That'll be end of October or early November, but I'm over the moon right now thinking about that. And I can't
Oh,
wait to gift him all these stocks and teach him about options and wrestle with them and all the good grandpa stuff. I'm an
of
expert
course.
now.
Yeah, we live for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Normal
That's
people live
right.
for this kind of stuff, I think.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, Jack, you've got a lot to look forward to in the next couple of months. That is
Yeah.
fantastic. Looks like your summer's starting on a positive note.
Yes, it is.
Tell the folks here what we're going to be talking about at 1 o'clock in just 15
Oh,
minutes from
man.
now.
We are going to be talking about one of the craziest phenomenons on one of the best stocks I've ever seen. And the timing matched with this strategy right now, it's just pure magic. And it has to do with Tesla. Yeah, it's all about Tesla. As a matter of fact, that's the only stock we use this strategy on. And it's just been fantastic.
Well, you
I
got
really
good
love it.
liquidity on your side. I mean, look at these options. I mean, you got the spreads between the bids and offers are like almost like E-mini S&Ps here, you know?
I know. It's
So you,
great.
yeah, you've got a lot working, and I'm sure. I mean, I don't want to give away the pie. We're going to talk about it in just 13 minutes. Matt, would you post the links, please, so everybody can come in and join us when we do this? Now, folks, I'm going to tell you something about Jack's methodology. Everybody has a methodology. One of Jack's biggest methodologies is to he's a premium guy. He's an income trader. Okay, right now, unfortunately, we all know. You know how I say it's a quicksand market. We get
Yeah.
trapped. The longs are getting trapped. The shorts are getting trapped. It's
Yes. Yeah.
there's not a lot of, you know how every morning I show you how many stocks are moving and there's hardly any stocks moving, how it's less than 100 for the 20-week break. Actually, you know what? I'll show you right now. Why even mess around? We haven't done that yet today. Let's take a
No.
look. So we have now, Jack, usually these are all the large caps that are making 52-week highs.
Hmm.
Usually this number has 3, 4, 500. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
stocks making like 77.
Yeah.
When it's less than 100, no soup.
Now talk about a short squeeze. CoreWeave was at
Yeah.
like 110, and I was
Yeah.
saying this is going to 150, but I didn't think it was going to happen in one day.
Yeah.
See that CoreWeave was
Core,
that did
it's
you see CRWV?
CRWV. Yeah, yeah, it's like Krauts, right, right.
Look
Yep,
at that
still
thing.
going higher. This thing is crazy.
Shorting, I don't know what the short interest on it was, but I bet it was pretty high around $80 and now they're trapped.
Yeah, it's definitely a nasty short squeeze. But see, the problem with these stock, their floats are not very high. I mean, look at this,
No.
50 million a day, and then
Yeah.
you got nothing going on here. I predict within the next 3 to 4 months, unless there's something really here, and I don't know anything about this stock, but unless there's something juicy here, we're going to come right back down to this base.
Exactly.
Usually when you see folks, usually the rule is this. Usually when you see these moves like this, look at where the catalyst, look at where the move started, and that's
Hmm.
usually where it ends up. In
Yep.
other words, in this case, this is pretty much where the move started near 56. And now, for all I know, this company could be the next Tesla. I have absolutely, I don't know anything about what they do, but 99 out of 100 times, they'll come right back down to this base because they won't be able to sustain themselves.
Hmm.
It's just too much to, I mean, think about this. A stock going from 50 to $150, what kind of fundamental shift could it possibly have? You know?
Yeah, it's bizarre. One of the most bizarre thing. The other thing is it's rare you see a company like this go up 20 some percent in one day, right? That blows my
20%
mind.
in one day. I mean, this thing went
Yesterday.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's insane.
That is insane. That is not normal. A 20%
No,
move
no,
on
no,
any company like this, that's uh
no.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and folks, you don't. I mean, you don't have alert services for stocks like this. I imagine, do you?
No. No.
No, I don't either. Yeah, I don't trade stocks like this. Too much manipulation, folks, and
Yeah.
it's very easy. See, the problem is these stocks, they don't have a big enough flow. And because they don't have a big enough float, it's easy to move them around, or retail traders can move these stocks
Yeah.
around. Institutions don't get too far involved in these type of stocks unless they actually start becoming meaningful. So what happens is all the buyers get in, and then all of a sudden there's just no more. There's no big money behind it,
Right.
and there's no one to sell it to. Exactly, Richard. Old boiler room trades, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I know a couple of guys who make really good money, Jack, trading stuff like this, but they're I mean they're like in and out,
Right.
they're in and out like that, they're hardcore day traders. But you never know. 1 in 100 will become the next Nvidia or things like this.
You see,
Now,
NVIDIA
folks,
has a
yeah,
position in this thing, and that's part of the reason NVIDIA was going up yesterday for no reason was because CoreWeave was really ripping. And I don't know what percentage they have, but NVIDIA's turning into its own little hedge fund with all these positions it has
it
in other
has to.
companies. It has to.
It has to.
Exactly. It has to.
It's a world of its own. They have to start accumulating. I mean, I think they bought every AI company that Tesla hasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if folks, if you have a company with the name AI, if you do something with AI, you got a call from Nvidia. Trust me, you
We
did.
did.
They
And
it's
a
just
lot of people.
they do not want any competition. They want to create their own little, like Jack said, their own little world.
Yep.
Any other interesting stocks you've been looking at, Jack?
Um, Other interest Hood. Oh my
Hood.
God. This thing. This is a market where stuff is getting away from me, right? I want to take a little position. I'm a nibbler, then I
Mm-hmm.
add to it. But I can't do it on CoreWeave. I can't nibble at 110 and watch it go
No.
to 150 in a day. So I got to give up on that. So Nvidia is still my biggest position, followed by AVGO. I've been buying a ton of IBIT. I got into Hood at 55 and change. And I haven't been able to really add to it because I'm just not fond of like buying them, adding all the way up. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm in at 55 and it's gotten away from me. A lot of stuff's getting away from me. I'm not used. This has been a really crazy market. It's been so good to trade the last couple weeks. It reminds me of the old days, and I get scared when everything's doing great and I'm calmer when we have more chaos. But man, stuff is really just
The thing
ripping.
is, the things that are running away, but there are not that many stocks running away.
That's right.
You,
That's
you,
right.
you, it's not wide. The market breadth is not wide. You
No.
can, I'm literally adding not the same, but I'm literally adding almost the exact same stocks to my list on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
you got to be careful. What's moving is moving well. You're absolutely right. The problem is it's not broad. It's not a
It's
broad.
not broad at all.
It's not
No,
broad. It's not
very,
broad.
very concentrated.
All
Yep.
right. So you and I are going live in about 5 minutes. folks,
Yeah.
it's time for Matt. Why don't you post the link again? Let's start heading into the other room, folks. Jack and I will be there in just a few minutes. We'll start this, and we're going to give you an amazing class, and we're going to talk about Tesla.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. How's your baby girl, Matt, before we leave? How's your baby?
Matt, can you hear what Jack is saying?
No, can you say it again?
He says, "How's your baby girl doing?"
Oh, she's
Yeah.
doing great.
Good.
Sleeping through the night.
Congratulations.
We're real lucky.
Yeah.
I asked him that this morning. I said, "Is she sleeping through the night?" He says, "Yep." I said, "You're a lucky guy."
That's the main thing. Right. All right. Good family, man. All right. We'll see you in the other link, my man. Couple minutes.
Go there. Go there
Thanks.
right now. The link is here,
All
Jack.
right.
I'll see you in just a few minutes.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Great.
Have a
Thanks.
great day, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.